Aussie Gutter Protection. Are leaves, debris, blocking your gutters? The do-it-yourself attempt wasn't a success? Pests and birds nesting in your roof? Just relax. Help is on its way.
Aussie Gutter Protection started way back in 2000. It's a family-run business and it's an industry recognised leader, growing every day with more and more homes being protected.
Blocked gutters can cause flooding inside the house, and that can be expensive. Drains can get blocked, and that can be expensive too. Just one small ember from a distant bushfire can be disastrous. Pests or nesting birds can bring disease inside the home. Do it yourself? No. Too many people die or are seriously injured falling from ladders. It's a big problem.
This particular homeowner has gone down the DIY path. As you can see, little or no success. After a short period of time, the gutters are all blocked up. Again, some of it's blown away and missing. Not to mention the danger of actually installing it yourself, height, things like that, falling off a roof. Not a good situation. It's not only leaves that can block up your gutters, pine needles as well. With this house so close to pine trees, you can see the result.
Aussie Gutter Protection's installers are trained to deliver a professional and secure finish to your home or building. Experienced people and great service.
A very good evening to you from Shepparton Park Bowls Club and the Stella Vic Open. We're back again with our live streaming coverage. You're with Bowls Victoria's live streaming coverage brought to you by Aussie Gutter Protection. And we've got a men's pairs semi-final coming up for you between Scott Majon and Ben Winther of MCC and Jaden Christie of Helensvale in Queensland and J-By Norris of the Essendon Bowls Club in Melbourne. Should be a cracking game again, the men's pairs semis. It's been a very, very long day on day 6 of the Stella Victorian Open. It's about 25 past 9 local time here, and we're just about to kick off with the men's pairs semis. Great privilege to bring in my 2 co-commentators for this evening's match. A man who played more than 200 games for Victoria and a former Australian champion in Graham Bridge, and a men's triples semi-finalist here at the 2017 Stella Vic Open, Daniel Nicholls. Welcome, gentlemen. Good to have you both here.
Good to be here, Guy, even though that is the night shift.
It is very much the night shift. It is pretty late on. We have just had a marathon mixed pairs semi-final, a catch-up game that because Lee Schreiner is involved in so many events. Gail Edwards and Lee Schreiner won that match. They overcame Janice and Wayne Parks of Inverloch. And they are through to the mixed pairs final. So Lee Schreiner has booked his place in at least one final. And they will play Curtis Hanley and Michaela Long, who won our previous televised match here on the live stream over David and Sarah Ashby. So just repeating, Lee Schreiner and Gail Edwards into the final of the mixed pairs, beating Janice and Wayne Parks. Which brings us to the men's pairs. And a very interesting semi-final between two bowlers in Majon and Winther, MCC pennant bowlers, good solid competitors, and they've played very well in this tournament. Against Jaden Christie, a former Victorian under-18, very highly rated talent. A couple of years ago, he left to head to the Gold Coast. He's linked up with the powerhouse club Helensvale. Just on the northern tip of the Gold Coast. So an interesting match in prospect. Bridgie, Jaden Christie was when he was here a couple of years ago, is a very highly ranked junior. He's one of our better prospects. Lost to Queensland, but seems to be thriving up there.
He was probably on the verge here of breaking into the state team in Victoria. Went up to Queensland, up to the Gold Coast, up to the Mecca, and he's virtually fallen on his feet up there at Helensvale. Highly rated. Mark Casey I was talking to Mark Casey up in the Gold Coast at the Bowls Australia Awards night, and he rates Jaden very highly, and he's fitted in well up there. And I think he's working at the club there at Helensvale, and also playing top level bowls, and pretty hard pressed to find a better place to play than up there.
It's a nice part of the world, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Hello to all our viewers of the Gold Coast. And Jaden came through as a contemporary of probably one of our better bowlers in Victoria, Josh Corliss. The two came through the juniors together, very much a matching set really. They virtually the same age and same sort of level of talent. Josh is now playing for our senior team in Victoria.
Jaden Christie's dad, Darren's a fairly handy bowler too. So there's family connections there. There's family roots there with the juniors coming through with their dads. We seem to be a breeding ground in Victoria for everybody else. There's a heap of good bowlers that have played in Victoria and cut their teeth in the game, and then they've moved on to bigger and better things up in New South Wales, northern New South Wales, and then up to the Gold Coast. So we certainly, if it ever came back to State of Origin, we'd kill it. We'd romp it in.
It's going to be a long night for this pair. Game starting at 9:30 at night. Probably get done till possibly 11:30.
Well, it could, depending on the time that it takes. We play 15 ends here, but I think with Jay Boy Norris certainly in the lineup, we can expect a lot of drives. We can expect a lot of power shots here. J-Boy plays for the Essendon club. He's done very well in this tournament. He's been deep in a few disciplines. Really good win in the men's singles over Nick McIntyre in one of the early matches this week. Played really well. And Scott Majon and Ben Winther have played really well in this tournament so far. Let's give you an idea of how they've tracked through the tournament. In the knockout rounds, 15-11 win over Russell Hall and Barry Ferguson, and 17-10 over Brent Hickey from Alexandra and Alistair Watson. Round of 16, that is 16-8 win over a couple of guys who are in some fairly good form from Lilydale, Zach Woning and CJ Snary. And then a big win in the quarter-final, and I think they kind of announced their arrival then in beating a couple of really strong local players who you'd know very well, Daniel and Rob Skenny and David Cartwright from Crabram.
Yeah, they bowled brilliantly in that game. I watched probably about 10 ends of that out of the 15 And yeah, like Scotty, all you could hear today is Scotty, top bowling, Scotty. And it's the same with the skipper there. He was just dobbing them on all the time. Yeah, Ben was in fine form, and Cartwright and Seni just couldn't get the win.
So they're just going through their roll-ups here.
And this is a challenging format too, 3 bowl pairs. It's not unlike the old international format, which was 4 bowl pairs. It's very much a skipper's game.
It is a skipper's game, yeah.
And if the lead, the secret to this is the leads build something up. Don't necessarily have to have the shot, but they've got to have bowls in a position where the skipper can play conversion with confidence,
Yep.
if need be. And really, at this end of the scale now, we're at the semis, we shouldn't see too many high multiple scores. It'll only be a lack of concentration or a wrong shot selection that'll open that window up for somebody to score a big scoring end. But yeah, 3 bowls, it's a bit of a luxury. It's
Yeah.
3 bowls straight.
You can always correct with your third, or convert with your second and third. But yeah, we all wish we had 3 bowls when we played pennant, because sometimes 2 bowls just isn't enough.
Sometimes you wish you didn't give anybody any bowls sometimes in pennant, but it's the case here of very much the old international format, and you expect the heads to turn over with the skippers because they've got those 3 straight. You know, traditional 2x2x2x2 walking pairs is the most common game we play.
Yeah.
And this 3 bowl format, it's a quicker game because there's not as much walking, but yeah, it's a challenge here for these guys. They're virtually playing singles with 3 bowls, the leads, and then the skippers following.
Yeah, I find the 2 and walk format really good because you can play lead and third and, of course, second and skip. But the only downfall to it is because there's a lot of walking. So I think if the ends got dropped down to maybe 12 ends, it's probably not quite enough. I don't know, but I think the 15 and the 18 ends of 2 and walk is just a bit too much, especially if you're playing 2 or 3 games a day.
It's a long journey if you're playing 3 or 15 in sectional play and then a couple of knockouts. And
so Scott Majon on the mat. Scott and Ben in the famous MCC logo colours there.
Had a fair few competitors in the MCC club in this tournament again.
They've been doing pretty well. MCC and Lilydale, there's been a few from both those clubs who've gone really well. It's
It's a great start by Jaden.
Yeah, good opener from Jaden Christie. Jaden in the...
Isn't it great to just put your first bowl on the first end?
It's all backward from there, Daniel.
You're like, oh, wow, I've got my weight right. I've got my grass right. This is going to be easy.
It never usually is, though, is it?
Just put it in the memory bank and keep doing it, and that's a better bowl. He needs that 3rd one here to get one close for his skip, though. I think this bloke here might have it on a string, because this is be sort of pretty much similar to what he'd be playing on all the time up in Queensland.
Lovely first couple of bowls from Jaden Christie there. Jaden's a top junior here, as we were mentioning. He was, played at the Werribee Club. Played his junior bowls there, got his pennant start there. And then when he finished school, headed up to the Gold Coast. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of people from the Werribee Club keeping a close eye on his progress here and probably watching this live stream. Wonderful club, Werribee. It's a good progressive club doing lots of good things in the community too. Not just a strong playing club. They do great things in the community.
Yeah,
a lot
good
of
bowl there.
It's a very smart bowl, that.
Got the tee and the ditch covered.
That's exactly where the jack's going if the shot bowl's touched.
He's got 3 real good bowls there.
Excess weight.
So Ben Winther on the mat now. J-By Norris in the Essendon Bowls Club top, the famous red top.
It's a shame because that's a well-weighted bowl.
This could get a bit confusing with Ben's bowls and Jaden's. They
Very
both look very similar.
Yeah. This is coming in from a nice high angle. It's a beautifully weighted bowl. It's a great shot. It's a much better bowl on the head for the MCC boys. Opens a few options for him with his last to just rest on the shot bowl to touch the jack. And Jay's going to have to be careful he doesn't get in there tight and touch that shot bowl over onto the jack either. So
Yeah, you think of you playing the same weight as his last, just tapping it back.
yeah. If he just draws onto his last bowl, he's got a much tighter second then, and he probably, although you're never happy to lose an end, he'd probably be happy to go one down here after not really getting much of a start. So it's just a little bit tight on this, but it's a good weighted bowl. Good shot. Two good bowls in the head now.
Yeah, he's always thereabouts. He's always had three pretty handy bowls there. Learn from it.
Every day that passes, Jay looks so much more like his dad, Colin. I had a bit of history with these blokes when I played at Rosamond Bowling Club in Melbourne. They were both members of the club there, and I played a lot of bowls with his dad, Colin, the Brick, as he was affectionately known. Very solid number 2 in a pennant team. Jay was only, I think, 9 then. He has come a huge way in his career. Tell you what, he's given this every chance. That's a great shot.
That's a great bowl.
That is
even
the
better.
Absoluter.
Beauty.
We were talking about it earlier in the day in a couple of the matches that we were commentating, that there was so many occasions when the skippers had the chance to add that last shot, and that's a prime example there of getting the cream. You know, this is 2 or 3. 2.
It's 2. So 2 to Jaden Christie and J.Y. Norris.
It hurts when you can add on your last bowl. If you're already holding 2 shots and you got 2 foot to draw the shot and you can add another one, that really hurts the opponent.
We get a chance to look at both the semi-finals so that we can have a look at, you know, the potential opponents for each of the 2 sides, and they're both shaping up pretty well at the moment. Better bowl from Scott.
Should point out the other men's pairs semi is on the adjoining rink. It's Todd Trewarn and Michael Sims taking on Hank Pelgrim and David Wells. Hank and David from City Memorial Club at Warrnambool. Todd these days playing his bowls at Western Creek in the ACT, who's moved to, and Michael Sims, a Tasmanian who plays his pennant in Melbourne.
Just a little overcorrection here, I think.
Could be sitting on the bowl.
Half of it. That's a good shot.
Yeah, it looks like he's already found it, Bridgie.
Oh, he's
And number 2.
look at the grouping there of the three Christie bowls. Little touch on the jack there to bring that a little bit tighter in. Good weight control. Scotty's down well here,
Yep.
but he's on that inside of the rink where they do hang a little, and he's fell victim again, just playing that little yard over and not turning in onto
Yeah.
the bowls. It's
All the locals will understand that here.
yeah.
That
Got to be precise, don't you, on this? It's not as forgiving as the grass that continually turns. The carpet sometimes it just holds on a little bit on a side. All the different lines up the green from where the centres are of the rinks. You get in the areas of the heavy wear and not so heavy wear. A little bit of underlay underneath, might with a little bit of a bump in it here and there. I'm interested in these bowls because these are the arrows, these ones, aren't they, that
Yep.
Jay's using. I think Ben's got that option there on the backhand. He's got a couple of things going there. The sit on the bowls or the trail of the jack.
yeah, it's always good when you can sit on a bowl or trail a jack, because if your line's just that little bit out, you got either one of them.
Just has not got that pull on that side that the forehand side has on the ditch side. We can't afford to play too many bowls on that inside of the green and miss so many, because then it starts to get inside your head a little bit and play games with you. So sometimes you might be better off playing the same shot as the opposition to try and get in there first.
It's a very well placed bowl there by Jay. It sort of stopped that trail. He can still trail, but if he goes a little bit too far, he's going to go down. So he probably preferably needs to sit the bowl.
Needs the jack or the bowl here.
He's got the bowl.
Got the bowl. Great
Well,
shot. That's a great shot.
Really good shot.
He stalked it all the way to the head. Liked the line.
I think he knew if he played that metre over, like Jay's bowl was sitting there, and he could have still went down. He played the right shot there.
He tightened his line a lot on his first bowl, because his first bowl did stay out, and his second one he tightened that line just fractionally. Got it to hold, got the sit, and he's pretty locked in there too. The only way Jay's going to get him out is if he plays a full contact in the middle of the bowl sit to make 2 or 3, but the chances of getting that perfectly, that's what he needs, is a perfect result. You could play a good bowl here and not get that little bit of luck with it to get that maximum result. So let's see what he does.
Keep it in mind, Ben's got another bowl.
Yep.
Yep.
Gosh.
Playing a bit.
Not playing just a bit, he's playing a lot of weight. Wow.
We're going to see that a lot from Jay by Norris if some of his matches in the Vic Open are anything to go by.
Yeah, but you've got to wonder, with no back bowl, playing attacking weight like that, if he hits the jack over the top, Ben's got a free hit virtually to draw for 3.
And he's got another bowl, yeah.
So sometimes you've got to have a look at that, you know, be content to go one down and just try and dead draw the shot, or just play it a little bit over the head, so you're not going to do too much damage to yourself. But that one there could have turned nasty for him if it had gone the wrong way. He's got a free hit here.
Yep. Similar. Not going to turn.
Yep. But the beauty was he was wide. You can't do any damage if you're wide. We saw a couple of times today in the women's triples match where the skipper was narrow. Last bowl, trailed the jack, holding shot, down. You know, and that was the difference.
So what have we got there? 1 to Majon and Winter. Christie and By Norris leading 2-1. Start the third end of our men's pairs semi-final. Shepparton Park on a lovely late night on day 6 of the Stella Victorian Open.
You wish you could retract the roof at night so you had the nice breeze coming in. Like, that'd be lovely.
Still quite a nice breeze. The temperatures dropped quite markedly, and there is a nice breeze coming through the complex itself. Certainly a very, very warm day under the roof today. Temperatures have been in the low 30s the entire week we've been here. Aside from some thunderstorms and nasty weather for a couple of hours on Saturday, it's been perfect.
That's how Scotty's going to have to bowl against Jayden. He's going to have to get him within 1 foot, 2 foot max. So a little bit of a longer end here, Graham.
Yeah, they've just about gone maximum here.
Yep.
I think they've got a 1 mat length in front of the 2 metre mark at the far end, and the jack's right on the dot down the far end, so they've got about a 36 metre length here. They just come in off this side here, so spot on. Like, it's a bit of a wayward one, but it's still on the green. Well, he may have the measure of Jayden on this end. He's got one close bowl, Scott. He needs another one on. This looks pretty handy, this one.
Yeah, he's looking better.
Looks pretty handy. Here's a
Needs
great
to keep
shot.
running.
Here's a great shot. It's on the head, good. Probably holding 2.
Now, the way Jayden's first 2 bowls came down, he'll probably get an inside rub off of this. He's been cutting across the head.
He's not there.
So he's cut the head 3 times there.
Hasn't corrected his line with any of his bowls there.
Sometimes when you've got two of your bowls in front of the jat there, you can use it as a guide and either come off one of them.
He actually, as the left-hander, is generating a little bit more draw because he's playing inside the line of the other players who get out a little bit further.
Yep.
And that's why those 3 there just came across the head slightly. He's only going to make a minimal adjustment there, probably 6 inches, to get those bowls to finish on that side that they're put down on. But I've got a feeling Ben might shut the door here on the jack. He's another big bloke that gets his bowl away very, very well. He's poked it out a little, and it isn't turning. It's come now. Oh.
I feel that Ben's found his weight though, like he's been thereabouts.
He's knocked Scott's bowl closer. Can't do much more than that. Jay's playing a fairly, I would think, aggressive weight. Has to do some serious stopping.
This is that hand bridge he logged the way away from the ditch rink, and it doesn't turn much.
You watched his bowl and you saw what Jayden's bowls were doing. Just that width of the body outside with the right-hander, getting out past these white dots here. Just don't think this one's going to get here. No. Jay's got a couple of options on his backhand here. If he was to take them, he can ride up through those bowls just with a little bit over yard through the head.
He's playing that weight again.
He's playing a big weight. Hardest thing to do from 35 metres away is hit a 2 1/8 inch wide jack target. That's what he was looking for there, the bare jack in the ditch. And that's, whilst I'll give him credit for playing it, it's a difficult shot.
He definitely backs himself with that kind of weight. He must have a lot of success playing those shots, or else he wouldn't be playing it, of course.
On this particular surface, though, that swinging weight is the much harder weight to play. You know, you can afford to be a lot more direct on these because the more weight you've got on, the longer they hold their line. They do tend to swing a little bit if you play that iffy weight.
Oh,
It's a little bit of a let off, I think, that one. I think Jay will try again, you reckon?
looks like it.
And he's going quicker.
He's gone quicker.
Yeah.
He's found that gap.
Two shots.
So 3 drives by Jay by Norris, 0% so far. Wonder if that will take be a part of his game later on, whether it's going to be a mind thing if he keeps missing them.
So 2 shots there to Majon and Winter. Take the lead, 3-2.
The other thing too is it upsets your draw rhythm.
It does,
And
yeah.
if you can get yourself into a nice groove here of drawing on this surface,
You stay at it, don't you?
and you can back yourself to draw yourself out of trouble rather than playing, excessive weight. Because in a lot of occasions, that extra weight that's played sometimes makes more disturbance of the head than what you want. But these guys are only starting in the game,
Yeah, that's right.
and they tend to back their judgment, their skill, fly by the seat of the pants a little bit.
Less fear when you're young.
Yeah, you play with no
Always.
fear when you're young.
Yeah, it's a lot less fear.
And it's always like your 15 ends, you always take risks within the first 5 ends, most likely.
That's when to do it, yeah. If you're a couple behind with a couple of ends to play, you've got to really knuckle down to be methodical about what you're doing, cut your potential losses, weigh up the situation. I don't disagree with what he's done so far here, but now's the time to really knuckle down and start to build up some scoring opportunities. Jaden's got to get back on the monkey too, because he's had a couple of loose ends the last couple.
Yeah, the short to medium, he was good.
It's not where you want to be.
Yeah, it is nearly a maximum length again. This could be a tactic for the MCC boys.
Just his line here, he had reasonable weight. Here's Jaden, he's back on the money. Great shot. Third bowl, Daniel.
Yeah, third bowl,
Third
yeah.
bowl.
It's the same with singles, that 4th bowl does a lot of damage.
Absolutely. It's like a pressure relief valve that goes off when you get that extra chance and you get it, because now Ben goes to the head, having to retrieve. Giving this a bit of a show. Is he going to get around it? Perfect weight. Now we get Jay on the draw. That's a very good shot.
Yeah.
I think Ben can use that as his jack now and just
Yeah. Oh, gee.
here we go.
I thought he could play it a little bit narrower, but he does have the back one. He does have the tee.
Some Another great bowl from Jay.
They look good going down, don't they, Graham?
Oh, I'm not a fan of the...
I like these ones, though. I like the white and blue.
Yeah, I sort of... They're hard to read.
Yeah. I remember Barry Lester a few years ago was saying he he can count the revolutions, but I tried doing that and they go that quick that you can't.
I think that might have been a smoke and mirrors thing from Barry, that one. Okay, what have we got here?
Right.
We've got his own. We took his own out too.
Yeah. He's holding shot. It's opened up for about a 3-foot draw. So I'm guessing, by the way, Jay plays, Graham, that if there's no bowls to follow him and he sees a lonely bowl, he's going to take it out, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Having seen a bit of Joe by Norris in this tournament, I can tell you that's definitely the case.
You can search for bowls and sort of try and maximise your counts. But sometimes if you're looking for a single bowl and your position's not good yourself, you might be making yourself either vulnerable or playing a shot that is careless, and you could been trying to take one out to get one. You can do the same thing with a draw shot.
Yeah,
so.
that's right.
Ooh, that's close.
Close.
I think the other front bowl is close too. So that was to Christie.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're all tied.
CS shot there, three apiece. 4 ends down in our men's pairs semi-final. Just a reminder, you Stella Vic Open live coverage brought to you by Aussie Gutter Protection, and they can help your club. Aussie Gutter Protection helps sponsor clubs if you're in Victoria. Why don't you give them a call, 1300 88 5525, or go to aussiegutterprotection.com.au to find out more. It's great to have them part of our live stream coverage, and we thank Aussie Gutter Protection for making it possible.
This is better track. It's a great bowl.
Yeah, he's back on it.
I look at Jaden Christie and I see a lot of Mark Casey.
Okay,
Both left-handers, both following their bowl off the mat.
Yep.
That's a big wrap, Bridgie.
I think he's definitely going to improve his game by playing with players like Mark and the crew that they've got up at Helensvale, Brett Wilkie and the like. It's a very strong club up there. Say these are a Henselite XG, these, I think, the Dreamline, and that's got a real big finish on it, that bowl. That's a...
I think the rest are using arrows.
He's not far out of it, I'll tell you. He's a
Yeah,
great
he
bowler.
really needed that another one in the head, didn't he? And he's
Great
done that. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good bowl.
Shit, I think that. Oh no, it's a lilac one.
They're close, aren't they? One's blue and one's little purple, off purple colour, is it? Ben's only got to crack an egg on that shot
Yeah.
bowl there to make it a
He's got
couple.
a few catches.
Yeah. Doesn't have to play it overweight.
Still think they're going a little bit wide on that hand. They haven't quite got it, have they?
Oh, geez, that's finished big, but
Maybe the